Greetings. Going back to wide rims, and one of the reasons why CrawlerInnovations, one of our first wheels is this 1.5 wide wheel. Why? Is this beadlock here, this is an actual axial XR10 beadlock. So this was a factory beadlock when the kit was first released, and this rim is the same width as what Axial recommends, and this width is what comes on 2.2 bombers and the Wraiths and stuff like that. So this is a rather standard width where it's 1.5 inches over and all 1.25 inches roughly in between these beads, so to speak. So one, I wanted to share that. Two, I wanted to bring up why it's important to know about your tire. Because this tire here, this is a Hot Bodies Sedona. This is a white dot. This is a stock tire. Actually, there is no cuts, no modifying, nothing. And part of the reason being is that this is actually sitting on a box stock XR10 that we have sitting on the shelf in the office. And but I wanted to show you how crazy it can get in terms of the modifications of the tires and how that starts to affect the foams. Because here's a pair of tires. You can actually purchase these tires if you're interested. They're on our website. But what's been done to this tire is what's called grooving or siping. They've actually come through with a Dremel and a cutoff wheel, and by hand come through and literally put a groove in each and every lug all the way across throughout the whole tire. And the purpose of that is it really softens up the tire, because now you've got a tire that'll move and conform easily to your terrain, as opposed to a big block. And you can kind of tell by when you squeeze this tire in, you can see how this block just it's solid, it's moving together. But you squeeze this other tire and the whole thing is very pliable, very soft. And one of the things that you need to know about it is it's really up to you how far you want to take this tire if you want to modify it. Because going over to this competition crawler here, this tire here that's on this car is this tire right here. It's the exact same tire, except the tire that's on here has been cut narrower. It's been at least 3/4 of an inch has been taken out of the center of the tire, and the tire re-glued back together. The other thing that was done was all of the side lugs and all of the side reinforcing. Everything on the side of this tire was shaved down to just the single rubber carcass. And this is about creating an ultimately soft tire. You can also see how much the lugs were cut and grooved in order to make them smaller and make them more supple, so that they will conform to the terrain and grab and go. So obviously too, you're going to need a different foam, because this is on a 1-inch rim, so a 1-inch CrawlerInnovations 6-bolt wheel, but this would require a narrow foam. This is a situation in which the double deuce foams, the original foams are designed for tires that are 2.25 width, such as this original Sedona. But once you start modifying it, then you need to realize, oh, I need to modify my foam, because a narrow foam is going to fit in this and give you the height you need, and still should be able to press out against the sidewalls, keeping it sealed like what we've been talking about, as opposed to, you know, one that's going to be too wide and it's almost shortening the height of your tire because it's pushing the sidewalls out so far. So that's something to be aware of between narrow and wide foams, as well as understanding the modifications done to your tire. Because the softer you get this tire, the more responsive it's going to be, but the more reliant upon the foam tuning it's going to become. Because you're going to, obviously, if there's no structure to hold it up on its own because it's all been taken away, then what you put inside is all that more important. And so that's where we come in. Thank you.